council regular session is Monday, November 18th, 2024. If you join me, pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brief moment of silence. If you do a roll call, please, Christian.
Trustee Wagner.
Here.
Trustee Olson.
Here.
Trustee Reister. Here. Trustee Kissinger. Here. President Pro Tem Keller.
Here.
President Frisbee.
Here.
And Trustee Fields.
So we have an agenda for our tonight's final 22-24 council session. Is there any additions or corrections, comments?
One correction, this was posted correctly in announcing the meeting tonight, but on our agenda, we have November 11th, when in fact, we're sitting here on November 18th, so I wanted first to have that corrected. Also, I'm going to add under village manager's report, information reference RFP involving branding and website design services.
Under your report or action items? Was that under your report or action items?
That'll be under a report. You can, I guess, if you want to make an action item after the report,
All right,
it was more informational.
so we have our full body tonight. We have approved agenda. We have no scheduled appearances.
Point of order. I move to approve as amended.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you, Carl. And we have no scheduled public officials. Time for citizens' comments for the agenda items only. If there's anyone who'd like to address the body tonight on the agenda in front of us. And if you would, Mr. Sears, please.
Downstairs, 5786. I'd like to address what is on the agenda, and that's the agenda itself. We just had a very historic misplacement of our votes in this voting district. They say, I guess it is not the village, but it doesn't matter. It's coming from the same place over here in Brady, where we've had a lot of problems leading up to this historic, inexcusable loss of our voting rights. And I would think that that would rise to the level of that incident, given it's something that our veterans and so many people have died for and sacrificed for, would be on our agenda tonight. And it's not. And it's a big deal. And it's something that if we're going to have an agenda about the most important things that happen in this community, and this is Brady and Vicksburg because we all vote together, then I can't think of something that would be more important to be on this agenda to get to the bottom of what happened, where 200 and some odd votes just all of a sudden disappear and are found. And I'm just going to leave it there because I said this with the county clerk, and with when I was at the Brady Township meeting. I am beyond words. I'm just speechless. I'm not even sure that I can quantify the importance of putting these things on our agenda to talk about when it involves every single person in this room and every single person that's fought and died for their right for us to vote, and the kids that are looking at us saying, well, gee, is that something important enough for you guys to talk about? And we don't. And we didn't do it on the Brady agenda. And I'm just disappointed, mad, and I just can't believe that you folks don't want to talk about it. And I sure as heck hope that you talk about it, and just talk about it, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sears. we had 10A.
Yeah, all
We
right.
put it on.
Okay, there we go.
I just real briefly want to thank this council and Denny, you know, for everything they've done. We may not have always seen eye to eye, but we always had the common goal in mind, and the first and foremost was the taxpayer of this community. So I thank you for your diligence, your hard work, and the support of being on this council, and I know we'll have times to engage down the road too, so thank you for that. That really concludes our 22-24 council conclusions, and I'll just open it up to village trustees. If he'd like to speak at all, Mr. Wagner?
I would just like to thank the public that had voted for me and put their faith in me to serve another term. So I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you to Rep. Hall's office for sending a congratulations note as well. That was very much appreciated. Looking forward to continuing partnership with them and supporting Vicksburg. So to all of our friends of the village that have won their re-elections or their elections, looking forward to their continued success as well, so we can move everybody forward.
Trustee Reeser?
Yes, I would like to thank everybody who voted for me. I'm very appreciative of that, and I hope that they realize that my main purpose here is to represent them. And so if they ever have any questions, they could call me. I'd be happy to talk with them or refer them to whomever they need to go to. I'd also like to thank Denny for his service on the council. Thank you.
Trustee Wagner,
Look at you. Kissinger, but
Kissinger.
I feel like you're my mom, Tim, sometimes. She always called me Zach, but I'll answer. I was not voted on in this election, but it was encouraging to see the amount of people are voted for these roles, and then the amount of people that put their hat in the rink is also pretty awesome. So thanks to the public.
And President Pro Tem Keller?
I'd just like to thank everybody for getting out and voting that day. Denny, I want to say thank you for your 4 years of service on this council. I know you won't be a stranger, so I appreciate it.
And I have one comment on behalf of Trustee Fields. She's on a national sales meeting this week and couldn't be here, but these are her words that she asked me to speak to. I want to thank Trustee Olson for his service on the village council. It is definitely not a glamorous job and often not appreciated by some of the community. However, it's our passion and our commitment to our community that led us all to run and serve in this capacity, and your work is appreciated. And I'll leave the last words to you, Trustee Olson.
Thank you. I sat home today for 2 hours and I wrote up a bunch of comments, and I'm not going to read them. I ran for the first time against Bill Adams because I was trying to save Tracy McMillan's job. Tracy McMillan, other than Kenny Skippers, is the most beloved guy in this village. 85% of the time when a fire call goes out, Tracy is the first guy, if not one of the first guys, to walk through the door. That says something for Trace. I will stand by him 110% every time. I raised the issue of new fire buildings. I've raised the issue of new fire trucks. If we had bought the truck that we had just bought for $350,000 4 years ago, that truck today costs just under $1 million. That $500,000 could have went towards new equipment, new building. The fire authority's got to get their act together. I'm going to give them 2 years. You have 2 years. Get me a new building. Get Bolton a new building. If not, get the hell out of my way, because I'm going to come through here like a steamroller, and I will get us a new building. I will take it to the voters, because it's that important. I was going to go after Mr. Mallory tonight. I have been called a liar time and time again. I've had things said that it never happened, it never happened, it never happened. Yes, by God, it happened. And I will not stand for it. I will not have a person call me a liar, liar, liar while he's walking away carrying his grandbaby hiding behind his grandbaby's skirt because he won't stand on the street and face me. I will not stand for it. What I should have done that night is went and got Steph, had Steph come take the baby, and then challenge you publicly. I've had it with you, Mr. Mallory. I asked you for your resignation, and you said you would never resign. This council would never accept your resignation because, yes, you have done a lot for this community. I'll be the first one to stand in line and say, yes, you have done a lot, but it is the way that you have gone about it. Oopsie daisy, the rise and dine issue, I will not put up with it. I did a FOIA and got your package a couple of years ago. You want to know where that package is sitting at? It's sitting in Lansing, Michigan. And I'll give you 3 guesses whose desk it's sitting on. If I can't stop you, she will. That's it.
What's a fine way to go out, Mr. Olson?
That's my way. That's my way of doing things. Steamroller.
All right, well, that concludes, and I'll call an end to this 22-24 council session. And we'll ask the, Jessica Cox and all those that won will, get sworn in, our trustees' oath of office.
I think there's 2 open seats. For the time.
Yeah.
Oh, you've already got a nameplate?
And then those who. Those who won their election, can you please stand up and raise your right hand
Do it individually.
individually? Okay.
We're gonna do it individually, and
You
we'll
wanna
go,
just do one at a time?
we'll do it individually, and the clerk will go to the podium.
If you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of village trustee
the duties of village trustee
in and for the village of Vicksburg,
and for the village of Vicksburg,
County Kalamazoo,
County of Kalamazoo,
and state of Michigan,
and the state of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Wagner? I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of village trustee
of village trustee
in and for the village of Vicksburg,
in and for the village of Vicksburg,
County Kalamazoo,
County of Kalamazoo,
and state of Michigan,
state of Michigan,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Thank you. Trustee Reister? I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of village trustee
of village trustee
in and for the village of Vicksburg,
in and for the village of Vicksburg,
County Kalamazoo,
County of Kalamazoo,
and state of Michigan,
in the state of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. President Frisbee? I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of village president
of village president
in and for the village of Vicksburg,
and in for the village of Vicksburg,
County Kalamazoo,
County of Kalamazoo,
and state of
and
Michigan,
the state of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a general consent agenda in front of us. Our minutes from our November 4th council meeting, our warrant report totals, event requests, there was none, and the correspondence on the home repair grant program memo. Was there any additions or changes or corrections noted? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve the general consent agenda.
I move to approve as submit.
Support.
We have a motion and support. We do a roll call, please, Christian?
Trustee Cox?
Present.
Trustee Kissinger?
Yes.
Trustee Reister?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Keller?
Yes.
President Frisbee.
Yes. So we have an action item in front of us tonight, the recommendation from the Planning Commission to the Village Council referencing rezoning of 114th East Park Street. And if y'all know what that house is, the property on the old Rupert Durham Funeral Home property. I don't know, Jim, if you wanted to explain a little bit more about it, but
Yeah, basically this is the house that sits on Park Street. Originally, within probably the last 12 or 15 months, the funeral home had looked at incorporating that, tearing it down, expanding the funeral home services. We went through the Planning Commission to get both the funeral home and that parcel zoned to the appropriate zoning of C2, I believe it was. The funeral home has shifted gears, if you will, and still 100% is serving the residents of South County and wherever with the funeral home, but certainly knows the housing shortage in the village. So Steve and Jenny approached us and we went through the Planning Commission. We publicly noticed it for a public hearing appropriately. We received no comments. We sent letters out to citizens in that 300-foot area. The Planning Commission unanimously supports the Village Council to rezone this to R2, and there is a sale pending with a person that would use it as a residence. Part of that and the delay in this whole process, or the length, was to appropriately get the parcels surveyed and then reparceled to the appropriate what was needed both for the funeral home and the house. So it should clear up this issue, and staff supports it, the Planning Commission supports it. We're recommending a motion, support, and roll call vote approving it.
President Frisbee, I move to approve as submitted.
Trustee Wagner, I'll support.
all right, so we have motion and support. Any comments or discussion?
I just have one question. Have they decided then not to expand? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know the totality of their plans, but not anything that would need that parcel.
Okay, thank you.
Anything further? We have a,
I will note that in the Planning Commission, the chair there, he did mention, like, this had been switched, Manager Mallory mentioned, to C2, and is now R2, and he's like, that flip-flop, is that gonna happen? And Mr. Mallory said that we would not recommend it going back to C2 at any point in the foreseeable future. So it's gonna sit in R2, and then Kyle did write up a very nice, Mucha wrote up a very nice thing of why it's for how many years, almost 100 years, it's been a house.
Yeah.
all right.
And that is correct. We would not, and we're quite confident it won't be
Would
broached.
not change it
but-
again. Yeah, okay.
Any more discussion? We have a motion and support. We'll do a roll call, please, Christian?
Trustee Reister?
Yes.
Trustee Kissinger?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Cox?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Keller?
Yes.
President Frisbee.
Yes. And motion carries. That takes us to village manager report.
Yes, I appreciate that. Appreciate always the opportunity to speak to the council and the citizens of the village of Vicksburg with the events that are going on in a positive manner, and taking this time to highlight those. First off, I want to thank John Steers for being here. John communicated with me today on some items that, to keep us on a timeliness of putting up our agendas and that, and all of them were valid points. I will thank Christian, who took the time to diligently get everything up to date as it goes, and we're committed, and I wanted to publicly commit that we will take Mr. Steers' appropriate suggestions on ensuring that these are up in a very timely manner. And I think certainly the videos are sometimes a catch because we use YouTube. It's got to cut over. 99% it works, but at minimum, if there's a hiccup, you have my word, Mr. Steers, I'll tell you the reason, but we're going to move forward. On Mr. Steers' comments, I wanted to inform the council that I had communication with Brady Township officials, their elected supervisor, who was a trustee as well, Randy Smith. Also had communications with their attorney, Craig Roth. It was actually Trustee Keller who got a hold of me that he had heard something about votes. And I think it's important, I believe the council knows, but the public in attendance here as well as at home, is we are a general law village. And part of that, and it creates confusion because we also are a unique general law village in that we have 2 townships that cover our area as well. Being a general law village, each of those townships are responsible to provide the assessing to the village as well as oversee all elections of the village. We as in staff, we as in an elected body do not have involvement in any governance of those elections, meaning we don't run them, we're not in control of them, and we participate as citizens. And I'm not here, and I don't want to leave the impression I'm countering anything Mr. Steers said. I think everything he said was valid. We just don't have the answers. We don't run the election. So what I did after Carl, I immediately talked to the township officials. I then talked to John Curran, who is the deputy county clerk. He was very forthright in a phone conversation with me. Just by coincidence, the count had been completed right before our call, so he could verbally tell me that Brady Township, because there's some village residents, and that would be Pool 1A, non-village residents are 1B. I was told that this vote ballots that were found did not involve village electorates, they felt, but that the canvass had been completed, and he followed up with an email, and this was November 12th, all this took place. In his email just said, "Hi Jim, thanks for reaching out, following up on our phone conversation. You'll see that the unofficial results are updated on our website after yesterday's retabulation of Brady Township absentee ballots at the Board of Canvassers, where they were then determined to be in balance. You'll see that the totals for village president and trustee did not change, indicating that any changes to vote tallies in Brady Township involved ballots outside of the portion pertaining to the split ballot style, in quotes, 1B, and the quotes, that contain village offices." And then he had the link for those updated results. And so I would just offer, we're not withholding anything because it's not part of our process, and hopefully, Mr. Steers, you get the answers from Brady Township that you're seeking. But I did want, since that item was brought up, and I agree with Mr. Steers, it's one of the most, I think, highest privileges we have as citizens of this country to exercise our right to vote. One thing that I'm real, and now I guess it's 27 years living in the village and in South County, I think for the most part, away from social media, we're a community that people can express their political beliefs or leanings and be respected and actively listened to and move forward in the hopes of improving. But I wanted at least to clarify the email that I had received and the communication I had with the county clerk's office on that issue. Also, we have I resubmitted an opportunity, and usually we come in front of the council and seek support before we put in a grant. We kind of announce if there's any matching funds required and identify how we would go about with those matching funds. The MEDC has a $50,000 grant that did not require matching funds, and it was first come, first serve. So I wanted to notify the council. I did submit for the full $50,000. It involves, of all things, to use to improve zoning and economic type governance for a community, which could include staff contract type items to benefit people investing in the community. So hopefully we were one of the first comes to be first served, but we'll find out. But I certainly wanted to let you know that was done. I just felt since there wasn't a matching grant requirement, that you'd understand why I didn't wait till a council meeting. And also, out of the RAP fund, which is the Revitalization and Placemaking Program, we participated in a webinar November 14th. It is out of the state of Michigan. It's minimal for our type of jurisdiction and the design of it, between $500,000 and $1 million. We will be seeking, and it'll come in front of the council at the next meeting, support, but we're doing some background work that staff could approve, reference targeting the funding for the parking lot in back of the businesses on the west side of Main Street. So I have approved Prine Newhoff in completing some initial survey work that would be needed, some conceptual PEP photographs for that, but we will be putting a lot of energy involved in submitting for this opportunity they've provided. So that'll come to the council on the first Monday in January, or December. I'm sorry, I was looking at my next notes, which are exciting Saturdays to spend with the council on strategic planning sessions. We have reserved the dates of Saturday, January 25th and February 1st from 8:30 in the morning until 2 p.m. More details will come in front of the council again at the next meeting, but I wanted to make sure you look at your personal calendars. And what this focus will be on is a strategic planning sessions for the next 2 years that you want to accomplish together. As we go through, we did this 2 years ago, kind of was almost from scratch, a little bit of work that had been done about 4 years prior, in 2017, I think, but to build on that. So we have those coming. And then a lot of focus, and hopefully you've seen with the holiday banners going up, Christmas card lane going up, we have ordered an additional 10 banners to expand to additional lamp posts, the holiday banners season, if you will. And that's coming up December 14th, Saturday, beginning at noon, which will have a downtown DJ with the traffic shut down, events starting at noon, going throughout the day, the parade at 6 p.m., tree lighting ceremony after the parade, which is usually 7:30-ish p.m. Very looking forward to the judges that we have this year. in attendance, and I would encourage all council members. Certainly a great night to be in downtown, the Village. It's interesting in public life. Started in, I think it was January of '91, and for the city in July of '91. Time would say that I think I've entered my 34th or 35th year of public service, having spent 25 years in law enforcement or public safety, police and fire, had many assignments and responsibilities within those 25 years, including 20 years of management overall and 13 years of senior level management, including being the chief of the largest public safety department in the country. It gives you and affords you an opportunity to learn a lot. And one thing in that time that I certainly learned, sitting in the front seat of a patrol car versus individuals that have sat multiple times in the rear seat of one, is that when you serve people, you give your best. And you're a human being, and you move forward. And I've always tried to have that appreciation for the citizens we serve. And in those 25 years, and now in the 9th year serving Village resident, not everyone has the best days or the best moments. And you recognize that, and you take that as a human being and understand that you're no better or no worse because you've had those moments too. So, and one thing in this job that I've certainly learned to appreciate with mentors I've had is to realize, and I've had this conversation with many people, it is a simple majority, a filibuster-proof majority, and a clear and convincing majority, and certainly will never be a unanimous in people's opinions and observations and such. But having said all of that, I am a lot further away from the end of my public service career than some might think, and I absolutely love every day. I didn't say every minute, but I assure you, I love every day serving the citizens, visitors, business owners of this village. I will not hide from or move away from the work that has been done over the past 9 years, and it's out of gratitude for all of the council members that I've had the privilege to work for, including those that might not support me. They've seen that we have the ability and desire to not stay status quo, that we want to improve the situation for families. And somewhere here on this agenda, I think we're going to hear about that from our clerk, or we're going to add it because we certainly provided it within the packet of a incredible grant program that serves people that need assistance. And we wanted to give this council an update on that at a high altitude that has impacted 16 families at the tune of over $240,000 with improvements to their owner-occupied houses, which simply programs like this don't exist in villages our size. So we need to publicly recognize Kevin Catlin and the county commissioners that saw value in the village to put $350,000 into that program, and the Vicksburg Foundation that provided a match of $150,000, but we certainly wanted to update everyone on being stewards of that money and providing. So before I turn it over to Christian to provide that, I wanted to thank you. I look forward to the next 2 years. I actually look forward to many, many more years after that, if this council so willing wants to do that. But those days are in front of us. I know I'll be here tomorrow morning with a great big smile on my face, happy and proud of the people who participated in the election, respectful of the election results, and looking forward to nothing but the future of positivity, focused on village items and village issues and village suggestions and village commitments within the jurisdiction. We all took an oath to serve the best to our ability. So thank you very much. Christian, can you give that report, please?
Yeah, just a very high altitude summarization of what we've done. Like Jim said, 16 residences, over $240,000 spent. And Brian said we have 4 or 5 more projects going to be completed by end of year. 10 roofs have been replaced or repaired, 6 furnaces, 6 water heaters replaced, and one of them was a 24-hour turnaround during the coldest time of the year last winter. 3 air conditioning units, and then a handful of others were windows, siding, electrical, and plumbing repairs, door replacements, and then mold removal from a basement where it was discovered that it was causing CO2 to be admitted into the house. So that is a very, very high altitude summarization of what has been accomplished in the last year and a half or so. And if you have any questions, I can try and answer them.
One other thing I'm going to add is, I think I mentioned I was going to just kind of give an update of,
I copied it.
appreciate that. Appreciate that. If anyone needs a copy, put together a request for proposal for branding and website design services. And our goal, or my expectation was I was going to post this publicly tomorrow to solicit companies to submit proposals, and then we would present the first Monday in January staff's recommendation. Part of website, our website's now about a little over 5 years old, I believe, and certainly, but I really want to move to the next level of customer ease. And I sometimes find when people call me and I say it's on our website and I'm right at the computer and I go to it, I sometimes have difficulty myself in locating. So that is on the website, and I want to look in areas to have what I would say is a non-canned, non-traditional, quote-unquote, governmental website, but one that actually is as functional as we can be and ease for the residents and visitors. It'll help in the thing of RRC and other stuff we're trying to accomplish. But on branding, we're not putting the cart in front of the horse. It'll be a topic that we have on the agenda in the strategic planning session of what the council desires as in the branding for the village. So I don't want anyone to think we might have our opinions and input during those sessions, but I see getting the appropriate team on board to provide these services and then participate with extracting information from council members that lead us down the path that ultimately helps us in that endeavor. So that was the plan on this. I wanted to give you the RFP that would go out tomorrow, and then once we tally everything up and are in a position to give our recommendations, come back to the council and provide those to you. But I'd be happy to answer any questions or anything that you might have on that.
I'd just like to say that, Jim, I found the request for proposal, I love the format. It is exceptionally thorough and detailed. I couldn't find a single piece in what we're requesting or what would be a future request or a wish like we do for budgeting. Regarding the website, I couldn't find anything I didn't already want to have in there, and there's several things I wouldn't have even thought of. So I found it very thorough. My only question is, how big is the initial pool of vendors we're gonna be putting this out to, or what channel are we putting this into to get that?
Yeah, we're gonna, not just post it on our website and our social media, but we're gonna actively reach out to companies to let them be aware that it is posted, multiple companies in there, so.
Yeah, I too had an opportunity to read this last week, and like Ryan, I was trying to find something I could add to it, add some value, but it covered every gamut of what I could. I'm usually on the other side of bidding to RFPs, so I had an idea what to expect, and I was really, really quite pleased with this RFP, the way it's drafted up, so look forward to it, and thanks for looking after it. So that was the end of your updates, Mr. Mallory?
Sure. Sure. I have more, but I'll just conclude there.
Yeah. So I think there was one planning commission, I know Cats, Fire, Sewer are next week. There was a planning commission update?
Correct, there was a planning commission update. We did talk about the rezoning, which we have since done. We also did mention Christmas in the Berg, like Jim mentioned. Some other things that are coming up are the Iceberg Festival on February 22nd, and then our birthday celebration on May 17th, and then, of course, Berg Days, the hits of Berg Days. I did ask Jim too during that meeting about, we do an advertising packet for the season, and that is coming back on pace for all of those events that help kind of fund those things that we do for the village, or through the village.
Thanks so much.
Yes, sir.
President Frisbee,
Sir,
the fire board meeting is this week, this Wednesday.
I said this Wednesday.
You said next Wednesday, next week. It's this
Trying
Wednesday.
to get out of that one. This
So,
Wednesday, thank you.
yeah, it'll be this Wednesday.
We did that one? Oh.
So this takes us to citizens' comments for anything they have on their mind at this time would be the time to entertain that.
I'm more than a little disappointed of the people I run into in regards to these missing votes, not only Brady, Village, Oshtemo, Portage, Pavilion, and that the answer I seem to get everywhere, and I just got it again tonight, I said, well, you know, Tom, why don't you go look into that for us? Well, good luck in your, trying to figure that out, what actually happened that day. And I feel like, and again, I'm sorry, I'm about speechless here, but I feel like, just going back to them and say, you know what, you folks work for us. It's not my job to call the county clerk and have him treat me, basically, not the deputy county clerk, and treat me with total disrespect when I'm just asking simple questions. What happened in Brady Township? What exactly were the details on a timeline? I'm getting one word from my Brady Township trustees. I'm getting another story from you. And to have the story that I won't accept is that you call somebody down in our neck of the woods and say, hey, you're missing some votes down there. Oh, really? This is paraphrasing. Well, gee, I'll have to look into that or something. And, hang up the phone. Go on over, and this is what I'm told. There's a 250 some odd votes that said, oh, well, hey, oh yeah, call back. Yeah, I got about 250 votes here. What are we gonna do about that? And so when you guys say, oh well, it really wasn't. This is the same thing I got in Brady. Well, it was a 40 vote margin in Vicksburg, but it didn't make any difference or anything. And the answer I get here is, well, there was no Brady, there was no Village votes, so, that's all we need to really talk about. What do our kids that look at us to, make the vote count and to get an election that's professional and nothing like this could ever happen again, what do they look at us? And they say, well, gee, that's how I solve problems that are just about the most important thing that I do in my community. Didn't happen here. And ask some guy that just goes to these meetings and asks questions, ask simple questions, well, why don't you go figure it out and put your neck on the block and go to the next county commission meeting and, you know, ask, why aren't we having any details from anybody on anything that happened? And let's just sweep this all under the table and move on. It's the most shameful thing that I've ever seen in a community, and I can't hardly believe what I'm running into time after time after time. Nobody wants to know the answers. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Takes us to trustees' time. I'll start with trustee Wagner.
The grant opportunity that Manager Mallory spoke to in his report, the RAP from the state of Michigan, I just wanted to remind everybody, trustees and public alike, is that, like he's talked about, that parking lot that we'd hope to address potentially with those grant funds was already an item that we've identified years ago and that we've just put into our needs, wants, and wishes with the most recent budget cycle. So just to put a little perspective and light on, that's an item that we've already identified, we're moving forward with, and we're following up on those commitments to get that project taken care of. So thank you to Manager Mallory and staff for continuing to be perseverant, looking for these funds outside of our general fund to improve the improvements that we need to make. Also, Jim, we've got it on permanent video and audio record, your commitment to many more years in the village of Vicksburg. I'd just like to reiterate that. So
It's interesting how some comments motivate me.
you know, I for one would like to say thank you again for your continued service, your expertise, the relationships that you bring to support the village, and the integrity that you have, and the admission of being human is a very hard thing to do, especially in the public eye. So I respect that a great deal. That's something that a lot of people could take to heart and take care of themselves. But that's it for me this evening.
Trustee Reister.
Well, I would just like to thank the public for going out to vote, and very, very appreciative to be on the council again for 4 years. Happy to be on the council with everybody that's here. And I would also like to say that I have great respect for our village manager and the work that he has done. And like he said, all of us have our positives and our negatives. We all do. And so I think that he has many, many more positives than negatives. So thank you very much for everything you've done for us.
Thank you.
I'll read one on behalf of Trustee Fields. Congratulations to Trustee Reister and Wagner for your reelection. I look forward to working with you as we continue to build on the successes we have achieved so far. And I'll take Trustee Kissinger.
I would like to also voice my approval of Manager Mallory. I've worked with him on Parks and Rec previous to that, where he always had an open ear and was willing to listen. And then I took over Parks and Rec, and he was like, you have an idea, tell me your idea, and we can see if we can make it happen. And we've done things like that for our community, and I really do appreciate that. I look forward also to the next couple years. I look forward to working with Jessica again, as she came from Parks and Rec too. So we're a committee that, it is a funnel. So yes, and that's all for tonight.
Well, I'll take this time right now to say on Trustee Fields' behalf.
No, he's not skipping.
Trustee Cox, and this is Trustee Fields. I've had the pleasure of working alongside you on Parks and Recreation Board for a couple of years, and I know that you will bring incredible value to the council. You, like Trustee Kissinger, will be missed on Parks and Rec, but the council staff and community will benefit greatly from your work going forward. So I'll let you make your first comment, if you'd like.
Good evening. I am thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to serve. I'm thrilled to learn. I'm committed to learning more about the community and exactly what we do here. I will be uncompromising and in my commitment to serve you guys and I'm excited about what's been done and continuing to build upon what we're doing. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, Ms. Cox, Trustee Cox. President Pro Tem Keller.
Thank you, Mr. President. To Gail and to Ryan, congratulations on your reelection. To Jessica, congratulations on your election. You'll find that there's kind of an inside joke going on. I get left out quite a bit when it comes to comments, so, even though I am his right guardrail most of the time, so. I did want to announce that the Lions Club has donated $1,000 towards the celebration fundraiser that was going, that Manager Mallory sent to me to speak with the Lions Club on. It is being earmarked for the arts and crafts for the Berg Days festivals. That's what we donated to last year, and they wanted to renew that. So I wanted to make sure the council knew that the Lions Club did donate $1,000 to it. And as with everybody else, I do appreciate what the manager does for us. I told him a long time ago, in government or politics, if you want a friend, get a dog. So it is what it is. So thank you.
Well, I'm kind of at a loss for words as to Trustee Olson's exit and his comments, but I know what I know what to be true, and I couldn't be more proud of this staff and this council. You look at what we've done. I've had the opportunity to sign those 16 checks, and nothing has given me more pride, you know. And this was Jim Mallory and his staff idea, you know, working with Kalamazoo County and the Vicksburg Foundation. So, attaboy, thank you so much for that. It's a beautiful thing. Congratulations, Jessica Cox, and it's great to see Ryan and Gail back on the council. We look forward to 4 more years of some great progress forward. And thank you for the opportunity to lead this group. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, meeting adjourned. Thank you
I
all.
would like to say too that I am very excited now to have 3 women and 3 men on the council.
I already adjourned
along
it.
with the president. I had to get that in.